Do you have a problem that needs to be solved? I'm going to give you a 3-step process how to use your intuition and how you can actually resolve that problem. Just practically magic. Okay, so the first step is identify what the problem is. The second step is know what you want instead. Now the third step is really, really important. These are the kind of questions that you ask, allowing your intuition to come through so that you can solve that problem for yourself. I'm going to tell you a story in a little bit which actually takes you through this whole process. Did you know that there are people in business, people out there that you maybe think of as lucky or super successful, but they just have a really good sense of intuition. They know their gut instincts, they follow them. People like Steve Jobs and Richard Branson and Oprah, they're using their gut instinct. They are just listening in, all right? So here's a story of actually how these 3 steps come in, so how you can actually solve a problem for yourself. So it's the beginning of lockdown, and I was kind of getting a bit cheesed off that everyone else was not able to work, and I'm behind the computer and I'm working all the time, just doing what I normally do. Thinking, well, I deserve a retreat too. I deserve some time off. Like, everybody's going to be not working, and I want a holiday too. And I was like, well, my business isn't really going anywhere. It's not really doing anything, and I'm kind of getting bored about what I talk about. People losing weight and the body all the time. And I knew when I worked with somebody, it was always to do with their intuition, but I didn't have the means to articulate that. So that was my problem. I was just not going anywhere. I wanted some time off. I wanted to take things from a different angle. And my hip at the time, talk about angles, talk about things going slowly, talk about feeling crippled and 100 years old, feeling really static and stiff. When I walked around the block in the evening, I felt like 100 years old. I couldn't move. So what was my hip telling me? What was that association to do with my business? So like, whoa, what do I want instead? I want some easy, some flow. I want things more interesting, more activity, more interviews, more fun with my business. So I was asking my body at the time, like, what's going on? What is this all about? What don't I know already about my hip aching so much? I feel stagnant, I feel stiff, I feel slow and sluggish. It's just not working for me at all. So I sat and I listened and said, what's my part in this? What don't I know? And I sat and I listened, and I got back such a loud message just going, write your book, 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 write your book. Now my book is called Creating Your New Reality, which is really funny because I wanted to create a new reality and I just hadn't been doing it. It's like, right, okay, so tomorrow is a brand new day, and I will take every single Tuesday, every single week, and I'll sit down and write my book. So the next day, I sit down and I write my book, and I'm starting to flush out the chapters and understand a little bit more about how I want it to go, and telling the stories that I want to tell about how you create a new reality using your intuition, listening into yourself. By the end of the day, I think, oh God, I've really sat down and I've really got a lot, pen to paper, and I've got a lot of the stories out. I walked around the block that evening and I was like, oh, 90% of my pain had gone. When you talk about intuition, you don't have to look for signs. The problems you have, the situations you have, the symptoms you have is your intuition. That is how your body talks to you. That's how your business talks to you. That's how your soul talks to you. This is how it works. This is practical magic. Intuition can be extremely practical. So that's what my lesson is today, about how you can solve problems for yourself in this 3-step process. I'm going to be starting up a 30-day Ignite Your Intuition, understand how your intuition is coming through to you. It's like an incubator in a 30-day process. So if you're interested in this, just please say, yes, I'm interested in this. I definitely want to understand the symptoms, the problems I need to solve, and what's coming up for me. Again, you don't need to look for signs for your intuition. They're already there. The problems you face, whatever's going on with you, whether it's physical symptoms, if it's to do with lack of money, if it's to do with not selling your house, if it's to do with like what I had last year, all my cars broke down, my car, my scooter, flat tires on my bicycle, everything, I just wasn't moving forward. These are all signs from your intuition. I'm Fiona Robertson. I am a body whisperer, helping you understand the messages that come through your body, the energy that flows through your body, what actually is stopping that